Hey guys, welcome to the Lion Lord E channel. I'm the editor for Lion Lord Lucas, and since we have reached 50 subscribers on there, now we are launching a second channel where I will make videos about drawing and the editing process. I'll have some videos about anime and maybe some TV sprinkled in. Speaking of anime, that's what today's video is about. Today we will be talking about my second favorite anime that I've seen, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Specifically the first part of the series and why I don't think it's very good, despite what Lucas will tell you. So let's talk about that. Okay, so let's explain what happens in part 1 of JoJo's. Spoilers ahead. In the first part, we meet Jonathan, the main character of the series and the son of a rich family who adopts a guy around the same age as JoJo. And this guy is just the worst. He steals JoJo's first kiss and is always messing things up for him. But in the first episode, he literally just kills JoJo's dog, which is just absolutely crazy to me. But nevertheless, they grow up. However, though, the mean guy, whose name is Dio, finds a stone mask which he uses to turn himself into a vampire, and does a lot of bad stuff because he's just a hater like that. So to stop him, JoJo has to learn a power from this Zeppelin guy, and it's like sun lightning or something. But yeah, the Zeppelin guy dies, and JoJo fights Dio and supposedly beats him. Then Dio's decapitated head makes it onto a boat Jonathan is on, and they both die instead as that boat burns down. And that's basically part 1. So first of all, let's talk about the JoJo in this part. Jonathan is not that much of an interesting character. If anything, I think his relationship with Dio is one of the only interesting things in this part. Not to mention that his use of Hamon is pretty basic compared to Joseph, but who can complain when you compare Jonathan to the GOAT of the show? Anyways, the next part, I think Joseph uses it better because he's able to do so much more, like climb that oil pillar thing and uses clacker balls, and just overall defeat a more powerful villain at the time, Cars. And he also doesn't really have an interesting thing about his personality. He just seems like a pretty standard, boring, chivalrous dude that's just boring. I guess I keep repeating the same point, so what's that? Now let's talk about Dio and his powers. In the first few episodes, it's a little boring because it's just like a conflict between two dudes. But then when Dio finally unlocks being a vampire from the stone mask, is when it actually gets a little interesting. But even then, I almost wanted to drop the show because of how boring it was. Before that, I only persevered because my friend forced me to. Well, anyways, when Dio finally becomes a vampire, his powers are normal. I guess, I mean, he can obviously regenerate, and he just has, like, better strength and stamina. He can turn people into zombies and vampires, and obviously he cannot go out in the sun. Although I do think it is kind of stupid that he can create zombies, because it just prevents the main cast from getting to him and just makes this first part even longer and harder to get through. Like, Zeppeli dies because of one of these dudes, so he isn't even able to make it to the final fight. Which, let me talk about Zeppeli for a second. I think he's a really bad character. He seems like weird. He barely is there. He's there for like 4 episodes and then he just dies to a zombie. Dumb. He's a clown. Okay, anyways, I think Hamon was an alright power, but stands appear in the third part. It just immediately replaces them, but they're better in every way, so I didn't care when Hamon got left behind. Stands and their origin are just so much more interesting than Hamon to me personally. And so finally, let's talk about the ending of part 1. Like most people, I saw Dio die before, so when he came back in episode 9, I was just like, what? Why is he still here? And then not only did he manage to come back and survive, but he also managed to kill the main character right when we thought he was about to have a happy ending. It's just true hater activities anyway. Not really anything special compared to the other parts, I think it is. I mean, it's good storytelling that the baby that Arena picked up turned out to be Lisa in the next part and Joseph's mother. And I also thought it was really stupid that just one of Dio's like zombies saved him. And I was just like, oh my god. So most of the time I was watching part 1, I was just confused on why Dio was doing all this. Like, I guess he's just pure evil to be doing all that. Hate on the Joestars. I don't even remember why, but yeah. I do like this stone mask. I think it was pretty cool and interesting. Also, in England in the 1800s, it was a pretty weird setting. I thought it would be boring when I first watched it, but it actually wasn't that boring, but whatever, I digress. Those are all my thoughts and opinions about part 1 and why I don't really like it. I mean, don't get me wrong, everything after part 1 is amazing, But part 1 is just a really rough start for the series. So if you're watching part 1, please do not drop the show. It gets so amazing after. I don't blame you if you think it's bad right now. Anyways, with that, I think I'm going to end the video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and subscribe to the Lion Lord Lucas channel, which is our main channel. And yeah, just have a good day. Also, Speedwagon is the best character in all of part 1. He carries the entire series, and you cannot convince me otherwise.